Hi everyone, Boots Allen here, tying up another streamer for you. I think I've mostly done streamers for the weekly fly. This one is called the Booty Call Minnow. Been around for about, I'm going to call it close to a decade or so. Like most streamers, just go with different colors for different times, different weight for different times. We're going to get started here going with about a size 4 hook. Here, I'll get my bead on here. Got her slid on there. This is a straight eye hook. You can do a bent eye, downturned eye. Heck, you could do a Alec Jackson hook if you want. Got that on there. Again, pretty simple. Like most streamers, it's a fairly simple one to go with here. Get our thread attached. We're going to go with purple. You can do these in black, olive. You can do them as white. You can do them in almost like a crawdad rust orange color if you want. Although that would be a dead crawdad. First thing we're going to do is get on just some marabou here. I'll pull a piece out of there. And we're going to try and find a good one. There's a good one. We'll be doing something just like that there. That'll be your caudal fin or tail, depending on how you want to, what you want to call it. Get her tied on right there. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this forward a fair amount. And to right about there. Just build up a little bit of body. If you don't want as much body, you can do a very, very short right down this way if you wish. And of course all of this will be covered up by some other material. Wrap that right on back there. Boop. Here I'm going to tie on a little bit of flashabou. Strand or two on each side. Be part of the lateral line, and then we'll do some more of that for this fly when we get up towards the cone. And it's just purple flashabou. Get her tied on right there. Bend her on back and wrap her on back. Oop. Now I'm going to get her trimmed down to size. Do the same on the other side here. And there we go. Now we're going to get some dubbing material out for the body. Before we do that, we'll get our piece of wire tied in here. And that'll be cross-wrapped with that dubbing. So once the dubbing goes on, you'll wrap this forward in the opposite direction. There's just ribbing material. And then once again with your dubbing, this is going to be Senyo laser dub. You know, Spectra blend can be used. Just straight up rabbit fur with very little, you know, dyed rabbit fur with almost no synthetic materials in it. I've used Hare's Ice Dub as well. So the possibilities are limitless. Get this on here. You can build it up as thick as you want. I'm going to go moderately thick. And I'll go ahead and get this wrapped around here. Go a little tighter. Here we'll add some more. And the material ends right there. So I'm just going to build her up a little bit more. And then I'm going to end it right there and have a nice little gap there before that bead. Peel some of that away. Get it trimmed right there. Now we're going to wrap our wire forward. Give it a bit of ribbing. I've used this on pretty much every stream that I guide on. So that includes the South Fork of the Snake River. That includes that's in Idaho, and then the headwaters of the Snake in Wyoming. I've used it on the Green and New Fork rivers, and I've used it on the Salt River. And then I've used it on some of the rivers I don't guide on, so the Henry's Fork. Use it a little bit on the Teton as well. Okay, now I'm going to grab a little bit more Flashabou. This is get tied in here again at the head here. And of course that stuff I did at the tail, you don't really have to do it there. You could just tie in 2 to 4 right up here. Just get that length down as well. Go a little tighter with my thread. Bring that on back. And I'll cut that near the end of the marabou tips as well. Now we'll do the same on the other side here. And that broke on me, so I'm going to wrap this back some and redo it because it didn't have the length down correctly. So I was going to give her a little pull, but I was a little too tight on my thread. So let's do it again. Double her back a bit. And same gig. Pull this on back. And we'll cut near the marabou tips again. Boop. So you got your little bit of a flashy lateral line in there. And now I'm going to grab some cross-cut rabbit fur here. And we're going to tie this on. And again, this will almost be like a sculpin to a certain degree because you'll have a fair amount of body up at the head of this fly. I'm going to give this a little bit of a trim here, like so. Forming a little bit of a triangle. Make sure all that flashaboo's out of the way. Actually, let me try the other end here, actually. Get that tied in there. Voila. And we want to make sure we get all that flashaboo out of there. And now we're going to start tying. And this material will be laying back over most, as you can see, of that dubbing material we did for most of the body. We're going to get this up there pretty tight towards the bead. And you can just kind of get an angle underneath there. And right there's where I'm going to give her a snip after I get her tied down with my thread. I'll give that a nip right there. And I'll get all of this tied in here pretty good. Get her nice and secured. And I'm going to give her a look at her on the other side there. I want to get that piece there a little more tied down, or I might just leave her. And then here you can tie in a little bit of a collar. I'm just going to use the same dubbing material. I need to get, there we go. And that'll help kind of cover up some of the fluff that's under there. And I want to get this nice and squared off. You can see right here, I've got a little patch there. I'm going to get cut. There we go. I might do a little bit more. And now we'll give her a little whip finish here. And pretty much there you go. You got her all taken care of. Again, called the Booty Call Minnow. It feels more like a sculpin with all that body material up there, but used for almost every species on just about every river I fish.